So in Warhammer 40,000, there is this idea of various tiers regarding your army. Tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm simplifying things a little bit. Underneath this podcast is a link that will take you back to my blog where we go into this in more detail. I'm just kind of laying that foundation because this is critical, I believe, to understanding Grey Knights, and specifically what I'm going to put forward, observations, play style, and rolling the dice on the table regarding Terminators. And then I'm going to switch it over in the comments to you. Agree, disagree, looking at exploring different options and different things. So in 40K, there's this idea of Tier 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tier 1 armies, they're the combination of a current edition, favorable rules, and stuff that Games Workshop is trying to peddle in the moment to make you go out and buy various models and various kits and play it. Essentially, you just put the models down, come back in 30 minutes, and collect your victory points on there. And then as we move through the various tiers, you have Tier 4 at the lowest, where there's this idea that even if you were an amazing tabletop general, and you've got hot dice on top of that, it is still a massively uphill battle with it on there, simply because a lot of things don't measure. And of course, Tier 2, Tier 3, playing it out there. And this has existed in every edition of 40K. So right now with Grey Knights, I feel like they're kind of Tier 3. I feel like there's a lot of things that at the time, when Ward created the Codex 5th edition, it was revolutionary. There were things that Grey Knights got, certain unlocks that they had in that very, very first Codex switch when it split apart from Codex Demon Hunters, because previously Grey Knights were rolled into Inquisition Demon Hunters. When they broke out and got their own book, it was space madness out there. They got grenades, Terminators with grenades. They were the first to get basically Terminators or Terminator-like paladins with multiple wounds. There was a lot of interesting stuff that you could take on there. Regular Terminators kind of got a boost. Really, really potent. But moving ahead through the various editions of 40K, I saw this with Eldar a number of years ago, it just feels like it's a copy and paste. It's just, let's just keep rolling things over, make a couple of tweaks here. And now at 8th edition, as of this podcast, as of right now, I'm struggling to find the revolutionary. I'm struggling to, there's still some good stuff. Side cannons and other things, still good stuff in there. But essentially when you are booting all of your tech, all of your army DNA on essentially a power armor or Terminator armor and a Space Marine, there's a lot of things that can bypass that in 8th right now. Just volume of dice, a lot of crazy chaos combos that are busting out where they're rolling more dice than my Cornate Berserkers. The numbers crunch. Got a couple of friends that are walking me through the math, and I'm like, this is insane. And when I see it on the tabletop, I'm like, okay, yeah, wow, that's impressive on there. So the idea right now, what I am struggling to look at, why would I ever take Terminators over Paladins? Unless there was some really, really extreme reason where I needed dedicated troops. So if you've been following my podcasts when it comes to Space Marines, both Traitor and Loyalist, there's just certain models that capture my imagination. Assault Marines, I see them jumping out of the Thunderhawk gunship, just descending on there. Land Raiders, Terminators, Dreadnoughts. It's just that way too many Black Library books moving into there. So I want to play some sort of Terminator unit, Terminator models in my Grey Knight army, mainly as that tip of the spear, that Vanguard. The models look fantastic. But when I look at regular Terminators for the point cost, the fact that even with their wounds, I might not be fully vulnerable to regular dice because I've got the Terminator save. But as soon as you hit stuff like Plasma, as soon as you hit stuff that has a way to now bypass the regular armor, they just go down so fast. It's just absolutely crazy. And I believe there's something like 39 points a model, and that's just core before we start putting on other things on there and upgrading them with the weapons. Now, certainly with the the psychics, you put that out there, whatever they charge, essentially they do basically make it disappear. But then we get into this idea of critical model mass in 40K where you're trying to achieve mission objectives. Just you need other, and whatever your codex is going to be, you need other things. You need other models on there. So I find that with Grey Knights, I really only have the resources to put down one big group of Terminators. I want to get my Land Raiders. I want to get my Strike Squads. I want to look at some other options in there. I have to spread it out. For a slight upgrade, I can take Paladins that are just better everywhere else. And both the Terminators and the Paladins are copy and paste from the previous editions. But Paladins still have that bite and are still up there. But I lose out on dedicated troops. But is that necessary? Your thoughts on it. What are you feeling with the Grey Knight Codex here? I love Terminators. I will play them. I think if they had a reasonable point reduction, that would change things. But your thoughts on it.